Hi everyone, this is Erin Stilger and this is my week 2 video discussion for Comm3233, and I hope y'all are having a nice Mother's Day weekend. So in talking about this case where the man is suing his anesthesiologist for defamation, how did negligence, malice, and other elements of libel factor into this case? So since he was a private citizen, he only had to prove those 4 elements that Dr. Slade discussed. The statement was definitely made about him. He, I guess, was fortunate that he had caught it on his recording on his phone, because that made everything easier to prove since he had that evidence. So those statements were obviously made about him since he was the patient in the room, and he could prove that they were false medically. I presume, like when she wrote that he had hemorrhoids on his files and the things that she said about him having an STD, he could prove that those were false. And she clearly said them in front of a third party, since there were other people in the room. And since it was about medical conditions that fall under something that could damage his reputation legally. And even though he's not a public figure, I would say that he could have also proved malice, since the anesthesiologist, some of her statements, she did know that they were false when she said them. And so did the judgment seem fair? I would say, yeah, it did seem fair. It was, as I said, pretty cut and dry, since he had that recorded evidence. And also, just when you are going through a medical procedure, you want to be able to trust those doctors and nurses and the anesthesiologist. And he was in a very vulnerable position being put under, and you go in there expecting everyone to act professional and take care of you, and he obviously didn't get that. So I think that the punitive damages that he was awarded on top of the malpractice and the other were definitely fair. And so then my opinion about private versus public figures, I think public figures do lose a bit of their right to privacy, especially if they're like an elected official or a celebrity who's chosen that field specifically. You kind of know what you're getting into. And obviously there should always be boundaries. But to some degree, like especially in our case with New York versus Sullivan, the New York Times versus Sullivan, where they pointed out that elected officials, we need to have the ability to criticize our elected officials and to be able to hold them accountable in that way. And then celebrities and athletes, they're, there's a trade-off there. They're getting fame and fortune, and they kind of go into that business knowing what they're in for. I do think there are some situations where maybe someone becomes a public figure where they didn't choose that. Maybe someone in like a very public legal case that didn't choose to be involved in that, obviously. I think sometimes in those situations they should be afforded maybe more privacy than other types of public figures. And children that, child celebrities, I think there needs to be a distinction there. And the children and families of public figures, I think they are more protected, but sometimes it doesn't seem that way. So anyway, that's my video discussion. Sorry, I started rambling. Again, hope y'all have a lovely weekend, and I look forward to watching your videos and commenting. Thanks. Bye.